to her sister.
Of course, yeah.
She kind of brings it on herself, ultimately. But yeah, so maybe let's talk a little bit about the acting.
Okay.
Because obviously, both ladies are phenomenal.
Right, okay, so I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Because, yes, Joan Crawford, Betty Davis are fantastic. Their acting isn't stellar in this film.
Do you not think so?
No,
I
think in parts, yes. But there's other aspects where it's like, well, it's just an old film, a lot different to... that sounds very bad, but what I mean by that is... so there wasn't many method actors back in the 60s. Not really.
No, but I think... so I would agree with you that maybe Joan Crawford as Blanche doesn't... it's quite a one-dimensional sort of role for her.
Yeah.
Even though it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to get to. So they're legends of the silver screen. But certain parts of this film, it's not so great acting in parts.
Okay.
Just in parts. I thought Betty Davis was really good, and she is menacing.
Yes. I think, the theme of this film and the making of this film is upstaging. The history between the two actresses is that of one trying to upstage the other.
It's like watch between the scenes rather than between the lines. But yeah.
And Betty Davis definitely upstages Joan Crawford in this film.
Oh god, yeah. Joan does seem to try to upstage, but it doesn't.
But I just don't think don't think she really has the opportunity. And the memorable thing about this film is obviously Betty Davis as Jane, and her holding on to her baby Jane kind of persona, even though she's obviously an old lady. That is what sticks with you, not the character of Blanche in her wheelchair and trying to fight against her sister.
Well, another thing that sticks with me is actually Victor Buono playing Edwin Flagg.
Yeah.
This is going to sound really stupid, but I'm going to say this. I hate him because the way he ties a tie.
Okay.
He does it really aggressively when he's having an argument with his mum, and that stuck with me.
So that's no way to tie your tie.
It's a flimmy flammy sort of way of tying a tie.
Flimmy flammy.
I couldn't think. I was so enraged that I couldn't think of a word, so I just came up with flimmy flammy.
I like it.
But yes, go on. Joan Crawford, Betty Davis.
Why, that was it, really.
Okay.
But I have a lot more to say about them. Should we?
Well, go on. Say it.
All right.
Well, we're waiting. that was my Caddyshack.
Yes.
Moment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, the feud. Between Joan and Betty has been... It started way back in 1933.
It started with a kiss.
It did not.
Oh, okay.
So, as most people will know, the actresses hated each other. So it's quite incredible that they were in a film together at all, really. Considering how long, it was 30 years of, hatred before they even made this film,
I didn't realise it went on for that long.
Yeah, so essentially It started with, because Joan Crawford was already an established star.
Yeah.
So her career started in 1925.
Was she an Oscar winner?
I'm not sure, but she was still, she was established.
Because I know
both
Davis
actresses.
was.
Yes, sorry, I thought you meant. Yeah, so both were Oscar winners.
Right. Okay.
At some point in their career. I think that Betty Davis didn't get on the scene until around 1930, and her first big film, what was meant to be her first big starring role, wasn't until 1933.
Okay.
It was a comedy, I think, called Ex-Lady.
Oh, okay.
And so essentially the first kind of insult that sparked the feud, sparked Davis's grudge against Crawford, was that Joan Crawford announced her divorce from her first husband on the same day that ex-lady was announced as well.
That seems a little bit petty in hindsight.
So essentially, the news of Crawford's divorce upstaged the announcement of Davis's first big film role. It was like a new era in her career, in her stardom, and essentially Davis kind of blames that on the poor ticket sales for her picture, which meant that it was only in theatres for a week before it was dropped.
Nobody can see my expression at the moment, but I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
this
really?
is essentially what sparked off the whole thing. It wasn't the worst thing, but it was.
I was going to say.
It was kind of what generated the first kind of bad feeling.
I mean, imagine if Betty Davis had worked on a film with Jared Leto and been sent anal beads. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Go on. We'll move past that. So
I didn't. I was just unprepared for the mention of anal beads today. So I'm just gonna move past that. So the next thing to happen was that Joan Crawford married the actor that Betty Davis loved. So
son of a.
Betty Davis was working with the actor Franchot Tone on a film called Dangerous in 1935.
Mm-hmm.
She fell in love with him, and but Joan Crawford got there first.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's a much better excuse than like you announce your divorce on the day my film was released.
Well, yeah, quite. And essentially, Crawford said that Tone thought Betty was a good actress, but he never thought of her as a woman.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's
Shots
the kind
fired.
of shade that was being thrown. The next occurrence was when Betty Davis won her Oscar. She was wearing a plain navy dress, which was actually an old costume. And so she won. I don't know what she won. Anyway.
An Oscar.
She won an Oscar, yeah. But essentially, Joan Crawford just kind of like insulted her dress. She said, "Dear Betty, what a lovely frock." It's not what she said, it's how she said it kind of way.
You got to read between the lines.
Exactly.
There's an analogy in everything I'm saying today.
Then in 1943, Joan unsuccessfully attempted a truce with Betty. And she
brought us some marshmallows.
She demanded a dressing room adjacent to Betty Davis after she joined Warner Brothers Studios. So Crawford reportedly sent numerous gifts and flowers.
Including marshmallows,
okay. I assume, to Betty, and all of which were returned. So Betty was having...
like, I'm allergic to marshmallows.
And flowers.
How dare you?
So essentially she was having none of it. Then Joan basically was kind of given Betty Davis's leftovers, so the roles she didn't want.
Oh, right.
And subsequently went on to win an Oscar in a role that Betty Davis turned down.
Okay.
So this was for the film noir Mildred Pierce.
Okay, I know that film.
Which Crawford went on to win her first and only Oscar for.
Oh, right, okay. That's probably why I recognise that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, not cool, because Joan Crawford, Joan Crawford.
And I think the most unusual and surprising of kind of factors in this feud was that Betty Davis thought that Joan Crawford might be in love with her. Yeah.
Sorry. Say that again. Betty Davis thought that Joan Crawford was in love with her.
Yes. So,
okay.
Joan Crawford, apparently...
Was it all the marshmallows she was sending?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently...
Damn you, Joan, I'm allergic!
Joan Crawford did have, lovers who were male and female. And so...
She was... am I right in thinking that Joan Crawford is very much a gay icon? A little bit?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just seem to remember.
Possibly. So, yeah. So, essentially, this is because they were meant to co-star in a women in prison drama called Caged, and Davis refused to sign on, and she called the film, quote, a dyke movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Her words.
Imagine if somebody had said that today.
Her words, not mine. Wow. And then, okay, so Bessie in a film called The Star, which was about a washed-up actress clinging desperately to her fading star power. Bessie Davis was essentially seen as playing a thinly veiled, deeply unflattering depiction of Joan Crawford.
Nobody can see me make these expressions, but I'm just like, what? What?
It was a WTF expression.
Okay.
So, and then that leads us on to this film.
Which is amazing it got made.
Yes.
Almost. But
yeah.
think of the publicity, which I'm sure
the
producers were saying to both Betty and Joan.
Well, it was a hit. It was an unexpected box office hit.
It was. People thought that was going to be a flop, but it was a huge success.
Yeah. But their feud didn't stop on screen, on the set.
When Joan was walking down the street, Betty Davis would throw all the marshmallows at her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm allergic to these things. Leave me alone.
It's a purely marshmallow-based feud.
Yeah.
But, all sorts of things happened, such as... I can't think now.
Stuff happened.
Cage fights, and people smacking chairs into each other. And
oh my god, I really want to see a UFC Joan Crawford, Betty Davis. I'll give you Betty Davis eyes.
But this is not. But this is almost not an exaggeration, because there's a scene in Baby Jane where Jane is beating Blanche, and Joan Crawford insisted on having a body double for this scene, because she wasn't convinced that Bessie Davis wouldn't actually try and hurt her.
Let me delete one of my facts.
Sorry. And this was proved when, in a close-up that couldn't be filmed with a body double, Joan Crawford hit her head very hard, which supposedly required stitches, but Davis claimed that she barely touched her. Now, Joan Crawford got her own back, because in the scene where Bessie has to drag her around, so she's dragging her back upstairs, basically Bessie Davis had a bad back throughout filming, and Joan Crawford intentionally messed up takes so that they would have to take them over and over again. So Bessie Davis was in agony throughout this.
Son of a...
Amongst, you think you've got some in your facts, so there are a few more fun feud
we
facts.
Will get on to them in a second. I have excellent research, by the way, Frank. Well done.
I got some of that information from an article in Harper's Bazaar. Just FYI. Well
done. And we didn't mention the Ryan Murphy TV series or TV movie called The Feud.
Yeah, The Feud.
With Jessica Tandy?
What?
Is it Jessica Tandy?
I don't know, I can't remember.
She's in American Horror Story. I'm sure it's Jessica Tandy. I don't know, I can't remember.
I don't know who you're talking about.
And also Susan Sarandon.
Yes,
that one. That's going to bug me. I don't know if it's Jessica Tandy or not.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
Jessica someone.
Jessica Lange?
Yeah, it's Jessica Lange. Well done.
Thank you. and actually, now you said Jessica Lange, I'm just thinking, wait, isn't that Murder, She Wrote?
No. Oh, God.
I don't know my Jessicas.
It's Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon, and I think I watched a few episodes of it when I was at home with my mum at Christmas, and then didn't watch the rest of it. But it's meant to be very, very good, and I saw was very good.
Matt recommended that to us as well.
He did, yes.
But who played Murder, She Wrote? I mean, that was Angela Lansbury, but it was Jessica...
I can't remember.
That's going to bug me.
Yes, anyway, so moving swiftly on.
Sorry, that's going to bug me. Anyway,
that's fine.
So, yes, there was that programme. I'm amazed that you didn't mention about the Oscars moment.
The Oscars moment?
Mm-hmm.
Which Oscars moment?
I think it was for a year or two after Whatever Happened to Baby... No, it was for the year of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah.
So, basically, Joan Crawford wasn't nominated.
Oh, yes.
Betty Davis was nominated for an Oscar for that film.
Yes.